The high Arctic is a landscape of absolute physical limits. Temperatures drop to -50 degrees Celsius, and the frozen ground is in constant, unpredictable motion across a dark, turbulent ocean. Survival here requires a complete restructuring of the bear's biology. They are not land bears in the traditional sense, but specialized marine mammals, engineered for the extreme cold. This cross-section of a single guard hair shows the fur is colorless, built of hollow, clear tubes that scatter ambient light. Beneath that clear fur, their skin is pitch black. This absorbs and traps the solar radiation the coat channels inward. This anatomy turns the polar bear into a walking solar trap, a biological machine built to extract and retain heat from the most unforgiving environment on Earth. That internal heat is protected by a 4-inch thick layer of blubber. This fat provides complete insulation for the core and vital organs, even in freezing waters. Their paws are equally specialized. The broad surface area acts like a snowshoe, while texturized papillae bumps provide traction on slick surfaces. In the water, these same paws function as efficient paddles. Operating this massive thermal engine requires a constant, heavy expenditure of energy. Every movement across the ice is a calculated withdrawal from a limited physical reserve. To avoid starvation, a mature polar bear must consume approximately 4.4 pounds of pure fat every single day. This high baseline puts the bear in a permanent caloric deficit. They must relentlessly hunt the ringed seal, the only prey with a fat density high enough to balance the animal's daily energy ledger. The hunt begins with an olfactory radar. A bear can detect the scent of a seal resting on open ice from up to 32 kilometers away. This sense of smell can penetrate physical barriers, identifying a seal's breathing hole even when it is buried beneath 3 feet of compacted snow. Once a hole is located, the bear begins the still hunt. They can wait in absolute, motionless silence for hours or even days beside a single opening in the ice. The wait ends when the bear detects the warm scent of the seal's breath as it breaks the water's surface to breathe. The bear launches into an explosive physical strike. A massive paw crashes downward through the ice, hooking the seal and hauling its entire weight out of the water. Every hunt is a high-stakes caloric gamble. Absolute stealth and sensory precision are the only things preventing the bear from exhausting its reserves before it can feed. During the summer melt, the sea ice disappears, and the bears enter a forced fasting phase. They remain active on land, but without a platform to hunt seals. This period is a crisis for pregnant females. They must give birth to and nurse 1-pound cubs while completely starving in their dens for months at a time. This diagram shows the cellular response that makes this survival possible. The bear's body enters a temporary state of insulin resistance, forcing blood glucose to bypass the muscles and flow directly to the brain. Simultaneously, the body intercepts nitrogen waste and recycles it to rebuild muscle tissue. This allows the bear to rely almost entirely on stored fat for energy while preserving its physical strength. While this condition is pathological in humans, it is a reversible and vital adaptive mechanism for the polar bear. This metabolism allows the bear to preserve its skeletal muscle while relying entirely on stored lipids. It is the physiological pivot that balances the brutal math of the Arctic summer. That mathematical balance is being destroyed. Anthropogenic climate change is rapidly melting the sea ice, leaving a fragmented landscape of open water where hunting was once possible. While polar bears are capable swimmers, long-distance travel through open water is an energetically expensive survival tactic. Telemetry shows this behavior occurring as a direct response to the loss of summer sea ice. Their bodies are optimized for walking. Pushing a massive frame through freezing water requires far more energy than simply moving across solid ice. Telemetry data from GPS tracking collars provides precise evidence of this struggle. These devices record bears swimming hundreds of kilometers to find stable ice. The data shows females swimming up to 687 kilometers non-stop, paddling through open ocean for 9 consecutive days. Disappearing ice forces the bear to spend unrecoverable energy just to locate a hunting ground. the caloric ledger no longer adds up. For cubs, these marathons are often fatal. They lack the thick blubber layer required to insulate their small bodies against the constant cold. In rough seas, the rapid loss of body heat inevitably leads to severe hypothermia and drowning for the young. The cost for surviving adults is also catastrophic. A bear can lose up to 22% of its body mass during a long-distance swim. They are an apex predator, engineered for a frozen world that is now melting away beneath them. The polar bear is defined by its extreme specialization. The same biological traits that allowed them to dominate the high Arctic have become a vulnerability in an environment that is rapidly changing.